The shadows of discontent stretched long across America. Whispers turned to murmurs, then to outright alarm, as prominent black figures, artists, activists, academics, community leaders began to face a disturbing pattern of disruption. Their platforms were sabotaged, their reputations attacked, and their very safety called into question. Behind these calculated assaults emerged a chilling name, spoken in hushed tones: the Sons of the Serpent. This wasn't mere political opposition. This was an insidious, racist hate group twisting the fabric of society with their venomous ideology. They moved with calculated precision, targeting those who dared to uplift, to inspire, to lead the charge for equality. Their agenda was clear: to dismantle progress, to instill fear, and to silence the voices that championed black empowerment. It was a dark current, pulling against the tide of change, threatening to drag the nation backwards. Across oceans, in the technologically advanced, secluded nation of Wakanda, King T'Challa observed. His primary focus, as always, was his sovereign nation, but the ripples of this American malice reached even his ears. This was not a border dispute, nor a geopolitical maneuver. This was an attack on the very dignity of a people, an assault on the shared heritage and spirit of the African diaspora. It was a form of injustice that resonated deeply within him, a king whose responsibility extended beyond mere borders to the very principles of fairness and human rights. T'Challa recognized that his power, his intellect, and the formidable resources of Wakanda could not remain confined when such blatant hatred festered on the world stage. His commitment to justice, forged in the heart of Wakandan tradition, transcended national lines. He understood that the plight of those targeted by the Sons of the Serpent was, in a profound sense, the plight of his own people. He would act not just as an avenger, a team player, but as T'Challa, the Black Panther, a king taking a stand for the oppressed, for all people of African descent. His approach was characteristic of his tactical genius. T'Challa did not simply storm the gates. He chose infiltration, a quiet, meticulous dive into the very heart of the Serpent's darkness. Using his unparalleled Wakandan technology, combined with his own formidable intelligence and martial prowess, he began to peel back the layers of their conspiracy. He moved through the shadows of American cities, gathering intelligence, understanding their recruitment methods, their funding sources, the chilling extent of their reach, and the identities of their shadowy operatives. It was a dangerous, often isolating mission. To confront such pure, unadulterated hatred up close, to witness the depth of prejudice, tested even T'Challa's unwavering resolve. He saw the faces of those who believed themselves superior, who propagated division, and he felt the weight of the burden on the shoulders of those they sought to oppress. But this close proximity to injustice only solidified his purpose. Every hateful word, every calculated act of malice fueled his determination to expose and dismantle this network from within. The culmination of his efforts was both strategic and dramatic. Having meticulously mapped out their hierarchy and identified their ultimate leader, T'Challa executed his move. The grand reveal was a masterstroke of political exposure. He didn't just stop a plot, he unmasked the architect, a figure who had likely been hiding behind a facade of respectability, perhaps even a public persona that belied his true venomous nature. The shock, the anger, the unraveling of the conspiracy in the full glare of public scrutiny, it was a moment that sent shockwaves through the organization and beyond. The Sons of the Serpent were effectively disrupted, their venomous fangs blunted. The prominent black figures they had targeted were protected, their voices amplified rather than silenced. But the impact of T'Challa's actions reverberated far beyond the immediate consequences. This was his first major international act, a profound statement on the world stage. It wasn't merely a superhero saving the day. It was the king of a sovereign, technologically advanced African nation stepping out of isolation to directly combat racial injustice in another country. This cemented Black Panther's role as more than just a Wakandan monarch or an elite warrior. he became a champion for all people of African descent, and by extension, for all oppressed communities worldwide. It showcased his unwavering commitment to fighting racial injustice, establishing him as a powerful political and cultural figure, a king whose reign was defined not just by his dominion, but by his tireless advocacy for the rights of the voiceless. This storyline, born in the tumultuous 1970s, was incredibly topical for its time. It spoke directly to the ongoing struggles for civil rights, the insidious nature of systemic racism that often hid in plain sight, and the absolute necessity of confronting it head-on. It established Black Panther as a figure of immense cultural and political weight, a monarch who understood that true power lay not in isolation, but in using his influence and might to fight for the dignity and freedom of all. This early adventure wasn't just a captivating comic book story, it was a powerful statement about leadership, responsibility, and the unwavering fight for justice against even the most entrenched forms of hatred. It solidified T'Challa's place as a hero not just for Wakanda, but for humanity, a beacon of hope and strength in the face of prejudice. What are your thoughts on T'Challa's bold decision to confront American racism directly in this early appearance? How do you think this act shaped his legacy as Black Panther? Share your insights and reflections in the comments below. If you found this deep dive thought-provoking, please consider subscribing or following for more stories that explore the rich tapestry of comic book history and its profound impact on our world.